Question 1. Who was the first president of the United States? The first president of the United States was George Washington. He served as the president from April 30, 1789 to March 4, 1797. Question 2. What ancient civilization built the Machu Picchu complex in Peru? The Inca civilization, originating in the 13th century, was a pre-Columbian society based in the Andes region of South America. Question 3. In what year did World War II end? World War II officially ended on September 2, 1945. This followed the formal surrender of Japan aboard the U.S. Missouri, a United States Navy battleship in Tokyo Bay, who led the Indian independence movement against British rule using nonviolent civil disobedience. Gandhi, a lawyer by profession, championed a philosophy of nonviolent resistance known as Satyagraha. He led significant campaigns against poverty, for women's rights, and for interfaith harmony. What was the name of the ship that brought the Pilgrims to America in 1620? The ship that brought the Pilgrims to America in 1620 was the Mayflower. This English vessel transported 102 passengers, including a group of Puritans seeking religious freedom who later became known as the Pilgrims. Question 6. Who was the first woman to fly solo across the Atlantic? The first woman to fly solo across the Atlantic was Amelia Earhart, an American aviator. This historic flight took place on May 20, 1932. Who wrote the I Have a Dream speech delivered during the 1963 March on Washington? Martin Luther King Jr. was a pivotal leader in the American civil rights movement of the 1950s and 1960s. In which city was the world's first underground train service opened in 1863? The Metropolitan Railway, now part of the London Underground or Tube, was built to alleviate urban congestion during the Industrial Revolution. Its success inspired similar projects worldwide. Who was the pharaoh of ancient Egypt during the construction of the Great Pyramid of Giza? The pharaoh of ancient Egypt during the construction of the Great Pyramid of Giza was Khufu, also known as Cheops in Greek. He reigned during the 4th dynasty of the Old Kingdom of Egypt around 2580–2560 BC, who is credited with the discovery of the New World in the late 15th century. Christopher Columbus, an Italian explorer sailing under the Spanish flag, is often credited with the discovery of the New World, referring to the Americas. What war was triggered by the assassination of Archduke Franz Ferdinand? The assassination of Archduke Franz Ferdinand of Austria triggered World War I. This event took place on June 28, 1914 in Sarajevo. Who was the leader of the Soviet Union during World War II? The leader of the Soviet Union during World War II was Joseph Stalin. He was General Secretary of the Communist Party of the Soviet Union from 1922 until his death in 1953. Who was the Mongolian ruler who created the largest contiguous empire in history? The Mongolian ruler who created the largest contiguous empire in history was Genghis Khan. Born as Temujin in the late 12th century, which amendment to the United States Constitution abolished slavery? The amendment that abolished slavery in the United States is the 13th Amendment to the U.S. Constitution. Who was the Spanish explorer who conquered the Inca Empire? The Spanish explorer who conquered the Inca Empire was Francisco Pizarro. Pizarro was a conquistador, a term used to refer to the soldiers and explorers of the Spanish and Portuguese empires during the Age of Discovery. How many questions did you get right? Find out how you rank against your opponents. You have an elementary brain. A lot of work is needed to improve. Start learning and catch up with your opponents. You are a brain trainee. You're in the process of getting smarter. Double your efforts to reach the next level. You are a brainiac. Your brain is at an excellent level. Only one small push is left to reach the highest level. You are a brain train master. Your brain is performing at the very highest level. Keep absorbing more knowledge to keep this incredible rank.